Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Matt.
Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. On first down, McBride. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 62 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Check. 180. Check. 53's Mike. Come on, D.
They'll run on first down. It's McBride. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On second down now, it's McBride. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Mayfield now from the 50. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
To throw on second and 10. Mayfield. Incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
They go play action. Mayfield. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line. On first down, McBride. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second and 7, Mayfield. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Mayfield. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
On 1st and 10, Lacy. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 85 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd and 2. And his throw here is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, Foxtrot. Hit it.
On 3rd down, Burrows. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Ready.
From the gun, Lacy. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
30 base.
On 3rd down, Burrows. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Set. 60 or. Come on. Snap.
They'll run on 1st down. Burrows, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Lions have taken the lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast. But a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Then he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hey, got tight left, tight end left. 3 down.
Mayfield off the play fake. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he completes it to Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On first down, Burrows. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Lacey. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
53, check 53.
On 2nd down, Burrows. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. They'll run on first down. Newsom. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lacey. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Come on, set. AT Gator.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. That is caught by Cohen. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on first. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield on the comebacker, complete. That's Cohen. He takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
To throw, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Throwing on first down. Lacey. Wide open receiver complete. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On first down, Lacey. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again, Lacey. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. A final shot before break. Lacey, he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there as time expires in the first half as they have taken the lead. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Lacy. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Mayfield now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And an alley to run. Now Mayfield lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it, because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9.
53, come on, 53, check 53.
They'll keep it on the ground. Burrows. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Burrows. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down now, Burrows. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the gun, Lacy. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on fourth down? They'll go for it. Looking to throw. Lacy. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Throw left side complete. It's Cohen. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't so much that it looked like the offense was threatening. They were. I mean, they had great field position, but how about the defense on that one? Huge stop on 3rd down. It wasn't just a stop. Look at the loss of yardage, and it changes the play calling and the thought process for the offense now. Big-time play for the D, and now they have the advantage.
They'll run on 1st down. It's McBride, and he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. McBride, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
We got this.
Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
20. Regular.
Mayfield on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They'll keep it on the ground. Burrows. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here it's third down. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Lacy. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check it back.
X3, 218, chop.
Check 53, Mike. All day, baby, all day. Mike, 50 go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
61, matchbox light.
Let's go. Hey, we got
On first down, Newsom. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Touchdown, Chicago! A great play there, with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. It does a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. 50 yards. As his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Mayfield and the offense now. Down by 7. Under 1:20 to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Well, look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cohen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep. They'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. Takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
60 Pittsburgh. 5.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a